Well, good morning, everybody. Hello. I see you're all here. Welcome to the Builders Live. All things spring. And boy, is it a cracker of a spring. Yeah, I know the spring tides, like a lot of destruction. And to those of you that have been affected, I am heartfelt. I know there are lots of businesses, lots of families that have been affected, and it was quite surreal watching the video clips. But guys, what we do need to know, and there always is some kind of silver lining, and the silver lining is that communities at a time like this really pull together. So lean on them. And if you are not a victim or were not affected by it, see where you can lend a helping hand. Because sometimes all these people need is just like a hot meal, or a bunch of flowers, something like that. But yeah, there's a lot happening. The Western Cape is still quite cold and chilly. You're still wearing jerseys. Up here in KZN, we're typically in between. It's down to 7 degrees last week, and then we're pushing up to 34 degrees the next day. So who knows? But September is the month of fluctuations. It's known. I mean, we used to run a garden show in the month of September, and it was like gambling with $1 million. It was like, phew. Because you just never know what the weather's going to do. You really don't. So it's kind of like you're halfway there. You're inspired because the bug has woken up inside of you. That's like when your car automatically ends up in the car park of a builder's. And you're like, or how did the car get here? The car got there because spring is in your bones and in your body. And spring is urging you to go shopping because your fingers are itchy. Okay. And so we still have to be slightly cautious, guys. We really do. That's not saying like hang back and be all like scared and whimperish. No, it's just about practicing a few gardening techniques to make sure that we do get the most, and keep an eye on your weather app. Guys, there's an app for everything. There isn't an app that makes coffee yet. Maybe it's out there, but I'm still looking for it. So guys, it really is just about keeping ahead, keep your eye on the horizon, see what the weather is doing so that you can make sure that your garden is protected and prepared. Lots of talks and events. To those of you that have been to some of the events, man, I was in Bloemfontein over the weekend. Rock and roll, baby. Yo, we had such, and there's only one word I can use, joy. We had a joy. It was lovely. To you guys, if you're watching or if you're watching a bit later, that attended, thank you very, very much. The suppliers spoilt you rotten. I mean, I think each person walked out with like 5 free plants and a bag of goodies. Some of you couldn't even like carry the stuff. You were like, that's what it's all about. That's what these road shows are about. So do make sure that you keep up with us and know where I'm going to be next, which I'll be revealing just towards the end of this live. But let's see who is with us this morning. Guys, Dalian, good morning from a cold and windy Struisbaai. Oh, but Struisbaai is nice. It's nice. Yeah, you get the wind, but you can also grow some lovely plants there. Sybil, waiting till October to get new plants. Sybil, Nia. You must plant now, because then the reward comes later. Remember, guys, October can be fiercely hot. And my recommendation for you is put your color in now, okay, so that it has time to adapt. Yes, it's going to get a slap here and a slap there from a little cold front and a bit of this and a bit of that. But your options become so much more limited in October. They've come and gone. So an example will be like this plant over here, which is, sorry, Sybil, and I'm really like nailing you here, but I need to tell you this. So by the time October comes along, you won't find many of these. You probably won't find them in your local builders because their flowering time is over. However, for the last 2 months, they've been available. And so you pop these beauties in, which are indigenous, and they're called osteospermums. They come in a range of colors, like beautiful yellows with the most intense blue center. They come in oranges and pale pinks and deep purples and like this, like an artist's paintbrush. So don't miss out. Don't deny yourself. Maybe that's it. Yeah, don't deny yourself. And once you've put this plant in and it is happy and it's settled, by the time October heat comes, it's going to be all good. Really, really all good. So, Symbols from Cape Town. Oh, thank you. So, and these plants actually from your part of the world. So you can put them in now because your heat is extreme. So rather get them in now. And whether you were coming from Pretoria or KZN or the Eastern Cape or Cape Town, I'm going to tell you the same thing. This plant, full growth, 1 meter wide, 1 meter, 60 centimeters, no, probably 30 centimeters high, full, beautiful banks, beautiful for banks, rockeries. It just does a fantastic job. Okay, so you're going to go and buy those plants, right? Okay, Indria, morning, Indria. Hello from PE. Morning. Sorry for your daughter's loss. I really am sorry. Sure. Vera, good morning. I love growing dill, but what? But little black-like insects attack the plant. Okay, we're going to get to you. I know exactly what they are. Louise, good morning from Centurion. You off to Builders for compost. Good girl. Well done. And you know what? We have a saying in gardening. If you can't afford the bag of compost, leave the plant behind. True story. Remember that next time when your trolley is full. Okay, there must be a layer of compost bags in the boot of your car, flat, and then the plants sit on top of that. Okay, then you're good to go. How do I say this? Androzette. That's an interesting name. I've never heard of that name. That's a very interesting name. Androzette, good morning. Sybil, good on you. Charlotte, good morning from Potchefstroom. Diane from Germiston. Josie. Vera from Edenvale. Heidi, good morning from Durban. Elizabeth, when are you coming to Builders PE? We are coming. Hold on. Cruise checking. End of October, I think. Hold on. They're getting diaries out and they can't get off their computers now because they're busy managing me and your questions that are coming in. But I think it's end of October, early November. But we are coming to Builders PE because I wasn't there last year. And that upsetted me. And I know it upsetted you. 28th of October. there you have it, 28th of October. I'm talking to you like I'm in a Teams meeting. I'm busy looking at my computer here like I'm talking to you, but you're actually there. Oh, the head. Jenny, good morning. Your lemon tree is sick. Oh dear, Jenny. Jenny, I'm going to tell you this. You're on the Facebook Builders page. Okay, right. You are on it. I see that. So when we finished with this live, I want you to go back, and you will find a live that was streamed there on fruit trees. Or one step further, you can go to www.builders.co.za and you go to the YouTube channel. And on the YouTube channel, you got to click onto it and then a search bar comes up. And on that search bar, you can go gardening or lemons gardening. Or you can just go down and ask for all the playlists and you can see something on lemon trees, because I've done many videos on lemon trees. I've done many lives on how to fix them. And it's not difficult. It's not difficult. They sometimes just need a good whack with a broomstick. True story. But that's for another day. Oh my goodness. Okay. Nolu, good morning. I see you've got a question, but we will get to that. Shafiq, good morning from Cape Town. Kirsten from PE. Renata, good morning. Watching from the office. Don't tell the boss. Don't tell mom. Okay. Elise Dean, when are you in Alberton? No, I don't think we're going to be in Alberton. No, I don't think we are. But guys, if you go on to, where's the best place to look? On my Facebook page. If you go onto the Builders Facebook page, guys, they promote all of the road shows that we're doing, all of them. And if you can't find it, then I'm going to make your life really, really simple. Then go to my Facebook page, which is Tanya Visser. Okay, Tanya Visser Gardener. And go there and then ask the question, but actually all the dates at the top, like they've been like pinned or pegged or nailed to the top of the page so that you can then see where I am and when I am and what I'm doing. Okay. All right. I won't tell you everything that I'm doing. But anyway. Good morning, Cindy May. Heidi, good morning from Saudi Arabia. Whoa, international. Oh my word. Okay, you talk about heat, guys. Guys, if you want to moan, then I think you must just make friends here with Heidi. And then she will sort you out. Janice, okay, you've just given it away, Janice. Janice van Aswegen. Looking forward to meeting you on Saturday at South Coast Builders, guys. That's where I am this coming Saturday. South Coast Builders, KwaZulu-Natal. It is at the mall where the Builders is, and it's going to be lots of fun. The manager there, the store manager, the garden center manager, are great people. They really are great people. So a shout out to Maxwell and to Nico. We're gonna rock it on Saturday. Absolutely rock it. Vaneshri, good morning from Durban. Guys, there are loads of you on, so let's get to it. We've got a lot to get through. It's what is happening, how to look after it, how to make more of it, and troubleshooting along the way. So let's start off with this. And this is going to be what we call a whirlwind tour, which is also there to make you salivate and add things to your I need this list. So there's a difference. So I have several lists in my life. There's I want to need and I need to want. And I must have. And then there's the other list that is I know they're different in my head. You see, the crew, now I'm talking to my team's meeting again. The crew's busy telling me that it's the same thing. It's not the same thing. And I have another list that disappears from my head is when I walk into a builder's store and I have a trolley. And, you know, I don't take one of those little ones, you know, where you put the little basket here and the basket there. Okay, I take that big guy that you need a pilot's license to drive. Okay, so I get one of those. And as I walk through those doors, come on, you all know those doors, those sliding doors that go out into the garden center, all sense of responsibility, of budget, of time and reality disappear. True story. True story. But it's what us gardeners do. We revel in the fact that we buy a plant and we have no idea where we're going to put it. Part of the challenge, guys. Part of the challenge. But I will tell you this. There's always space for another plant. Whether it means you've got to go vertical, you've got to start hanging it from the ceilings, doing something, there's always space for another plant. So come along with me and let's have a look at what some of the beautiful plants that are available right now. So if you did the homework and if you followed our masterclass in April, March or April, we would have told you to do a lot of things. Yeah, we did. There was a list of instructions. There was a serious list. Plant your primulas. Plant your pansies. What else? Come on, work with me. I know you know them. Sow your seeds. Get your veggie garden going. Good time to get all your winter crops in. Plant your snapdragons. Yeah. Okay. So, if you did those, by now, if you're in the slightly warmer areas, your garden is peaking. I mean, it's like at the top of its game. If you on the Western Cape, you are still getting there because your summers come later, okay? So your spring is later as well. Because, just come along with me here, because this is the reward. This is the reward. Picked out the garden this morning. Look at these snappies. I mean, come on, guys. Look, look at the little Lubiki. Oh, man. Okay, I could do this all day. Hey, seriously. And isn't it amazing that the pollinator, the bee, arrives and he is able to push that. Just push that open. And of course, there's a little hinge in the back here. So it's able to push it in, and as the bee goes in to collect the pollen, so he will pick up the seed, okay, and move the seed from the one to the other. And that is where, once it's got not the seed, man, the pollen, takes the pollen, and that's where the pollen needs to end up over there. Because that little green spot is where it then ends up on the pollen tube, which goes down to the reproductive organs of the plant. And that is where seed comes from. Fascinating, fascinating. But these are our white snappies. We've got pink snappies. Okay, so I get given orders about, true story, about what color spring garden my other half would want. And this year it was a pink and white garden. So we have a pink and white garden. And it's full of foxgloves. And I'm going to show you the foxies. And it's full of beautiful snapdragons, and it's full of pink primulas and white primulas and just pansies and violas. And that is because we did the work. We put them in earlier so we could have the reward of a spring garden. But I'm going to tell you something. That if you didn't do it, you can still cheat. Shh. I'm telling you, true story. So come here. Come here. I'm going to show you. So if you didn't put in your foxgloves, okay, and you are yearning to have them in your garden, because in full sun, yes, believe it or not, in full sun or in semi-shade under a tree, these guys are available as instant instant plants. I've been growing them for so long, you know. I sowed them all myself. You can make up whatever story you want. The bottom line is you can get some beautiful foxies and what we call instant color. Okay, so this is like, I want it now. This is the drive-through. This is the KFC Crunch Burger, Mega, whatever, pimped, plus upsize. This is it, okay? And that is what you can do. So if you haven't done that, or if the plants that you put in are just not doing what they really should be doing, then you just pop 1 or 2 of these in the garden to pimp it, baby, pimp it. And remember with the foxies, the golden rule, and you can see they flower from the base, so their more mature flowers are from the base, and they have these beautiful spikes. But here is the promise. You see there? There's the promise of what is more to come. So when this guy is finished flowering, do you see there's even another flower spike? You chop him off there. You chop him off there. Because then all of these are then going to do what they need to do. Okay. And remember, lots of water and lots of mulch. Okay. Right. Mason, we're going to have to stand up and reverse a little bit. Now, what else? Guys, brachycombs. And I talk about this as a spring plant, but it actually comes in and out of flower almost all year round. This is the new Fresco, and this is called Fresco Candy. Now, some of you might remember this plant. Back in the early days, there was only one color. It was a blue. Okay. And that blue wasn't really a strong plant. I planted many in my garden, and I killed many. They just like clutched out, like it had an aneurysm halfway during the night. Literally, one day it's good, the next day it's just pop. And that's because they had a really inferior root system. They've now done some good breeding, and out of it has come beautiful Fresco Candy. And this one over here, which is, I think you're also a Fresco, this is the Fresco White. But these are the brachycombs, guys. And when I tell you they are beautiful in the garden, in pots or in hanging baskets, and in combinations with the other plants that are already in your garden. So let's pretend that you've got some alyssum. Now this is one of the variegated alyssums, or it's also called lobularia. This is not somebody, not Sky, I think it is. But you can see it's got a variegated foliage. Okay, and this is what we call a perennial. Okay, it's a true perennial as a lobularia. But I just want to get my pair of secateurs, so let's actually move over to the table because I want to show you what goes wrong. So this guy flowers and flowers and flowers and flowers, like this guy over here. It's like I can't stop. It's flowers, 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 flowers. But what starts happening is that it starts getting naked at the base. Okay, can you see in here? Already we can see it starting to happen here. It's starting to get naked at the base. And it just can't help itself but to flower. When you walk past this plant, you'll hear the bees humming and you'll get the smell of honey, the sweet, sweet smell of honey. Oh, it tickled my nose. So what I do want you to do when it is getting like this and it's at its peak is that I really want you to give it a good prune. And now you're going to say to me, you pruned all the flowers off. Yes, I did. I did. For the better of the plant and for your betterness, whatever the word is. But you will notice that I only pruned half of the plant. Do you see that? I've pruned half of the plant. So you can still have half flowers. You know what I'm saying? All right? Half, let this then grow, and then you prune the other half. But you will then still have the flowers, and this plant will just go on and on and on. And as a combo, come on, guys. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that just gorgeous? Remember, with all of your bedding plants, so this is anything that is in flower at the moment, this is the rule to make them go further. This is the rule. If this is a daisy or a whatever I've got in my garden. Whether it's a pelargonium, I don't care what it is. If it's got a flower, guys, look here. When the flower is over and it's finished, okay, this one's over, you need to take a sharp pair of secateurs, one with a long, thin nose, all right? And you've got to get in there and deadhead. You've got to take these off. The more you do that, the more it flowers. It's like such a basic gardening principle that we neglect. And like, it blows my mind. Anyway, do that and you'll be better at it. The other two important gardening principles now, for right now, is to mulch, guys. Mulch, mulch, mulch. Come on, you pruned away. You removed half the garden during winter. I know you did. You pruned away a lot. Your compost heap has been working because you added compost activator into it. So now you have got the compost, or you're going to use some mulch. And guys, if you don't have that, you're going to use some of this, which is decorative bark mulch. Now, they call it decorative bark mulch. I actually quite like it because it is already a bit broken down already. And this forms a beautiful protective layering around your soil. Remember, there should be no naked soil. No naked soil in your garden, especially when we start hitting those highs, okay? So, very, very important that you mulch, okay? Right, there are some questions, so let's get to them. Let's have a look at who is stuck with what. Okay, let's have a look. Elisma, if the daisy is a bush already, do I also cut half in half? Oh, very good question. Very good question. Right, so I am assuming that you've got a daisy in the garden. Okay, I'm going to assume that. If you are going to be buying a daisy now to fill some gaps, it's going to look like this. Excuse me. It is young. It's fresh. You can see there's no dead, no dying. All right, no hard wood in here. So there's no reason to prune it. The only pruning that you will be doing is deadheading, taking away the dead flowers. However, if your daisy bush is a bit long in the tooth and it's been in your garden for like 2-3 years and you haven't done any pruning, then yes, please prune half of the plant. And if you can, try and leave some leaves where your last prune is. Try, please. And when that starts rejuvenating, then of course you can prune the other half. But this, for spring little plug-in colors, just fantastic. I love it. Absolutely love them. And really, there's a daisy for everybody's color, heart, desire, and all of those things. Guys, next question. Julie, I live in Joburg. What can I plant in the shade? Julie, you're on the money. You are on the money because I have got some things to show you. I just need to see where they are. Right. Okay. So, folks, spring is azalea time. Spring is so azalea time. And I'm going to dip this guy over here. This is azalea, and it's called flambeau. There are many, many different azaleas available, guys, and there's a one that you must look out for at your local builders. It's called Encore, and it's in a little pot, a little pot with the most beautiful flowers, and they're a family. They're just like these guys that get, so this guy gets big, like 2 meters in your garden, seriously, like big, 2 meters. The little Encores, which you'll see by its label, folks, they only get to about 1 meter in height. And they can grow in semi-shade, in shade, or even, and I'm going to say morning sun only. They perform brilliantly. Encores have received awards, horticultural awards from all around the world. But your azaleas are in flower and they're looking fantastic. What do we do to help them along? We mulch them. We find pine cones. We get some acid compost and we put that around them. And we also feed them with a bit of acid plant food, which is in a liquid form. So like we're watering it, we're just then going to use that. other options for shade. And here is where, oh la la, caramba, out come the mushrooms. Well, not really. Why do I say that? Because they are psychedelic, guys. They are so psychedelic. I mean, look at these. These are coleus. They are an absolute winner in the garden. We get quite cold here in winter, so they get taken out the garden, they get put into pots, and they get put in the little greenhouse. And we are just about ready to plant them back into the garden now. So you can either treat them as an annual if you get frost, or as a perennial if you're prepared to dig them out and look after them. But these colors are just wicked. And this will be perfect in your semi-shaded areas. But what I want to show you is this. So here is another beautiful option. This is a liriope. It's called Pure Blonde. Man, and you can see she's a Babe Watch Blonde. And look at this. This is the spring foliage. And it is spectacular, really spectacular. It can cope in dry shade. It can also cope in full sun. But dry shade is best for this liriope. And look what I do when I take this, watch the red, and I put it there. Pow, papa, explosions. Explosions. And that is what we can get in our gardens, even in the shade. And talking of shade, man, you've got the queen of all elegant flowers, the most beautiful fuchsia. This one I actually think is RAF. Oh no, it's Bella. It's a Bella. So the Bellas, you'll find them at your local builders in pots, just like this. Little pots, okay? Guys, don't be hoodwinked and thinking that it's only going to stay this small. No, the little Bella will get about there, but a beautifully compact, very, very compact fuchsia. And look at these doubles. So normally, and this is what some people say to me, oh, fuchsias, they only have 1 or 2 flowers. Guys, the Bellas, which I happen to see in the flesh where they were bred, are just flowers. They are bred to flower. That is what they have been made to do. And I mean, this plant just says it all. There are probably more than 30 flowers on there. Semi-shade, fantastic. Remember, if it starts getting a bit too tall and it started going off in a direction that you don't want it to, literally all you got to do is just snip that off just above a growth point, and it's nice and balanced out again. Isn't it beautiful? I mean, come on. That's gorgeous. So there's some options. Let me get this big guy out the way for a shaded garden so that you can have some color. And of course, remember that one of your best shaded options for going into the summer would be your impatiens. So you get the sun impatiens, which are called sun patients, and then you get the New Guinea impatiens, and they've got that bigger leaf, a bigger flower than the normal impatiens. Guys, and they can do anywhere. Sun, shade, just choose them. So there's sun patients, and there's then the New Guinea impatiens. 2 different areas. Okay. What am I doing? Am I going to answer Natasha's question? Are you sending it? Yes. Okay. I'm just going to do that because I don't know what's happening here. Very bad with computers. I break things. Natasha, what can I plant now? My garden is empty, but it's in a very sunny area. Natasha, have you been paying attention? Okay, so, right, sun. By the way, these coleus, guys, do not be fooled. Do not be fooled by their delicate little leaves because they do incredibly well in the full sun. In fact, these were trialed as for a water-wise garden, and they were trialed in pots. 1 row of plants got water, another row of pots got no water. They literally got what came out the sky. Do you know what plant coped the best? Out of ranging from A to Z? Coleus. Hard to believe, eh? Yeah, but they're insane. Okay, sun. I have got you covered. I have got you covered. So, for sun, and you want to put in some beauties, and you want that color, we've touched on the Allison, which is actually lobularia, all right? The brachycomb, beautiful, all right? Now, verbenas, hot, sunny, excellent ground cover, an excellent ground cover for border edges. Will flower right through the summer. Remember, all you've got to do is just keep deadheading. Just keep deadheading. Okay, then another great plant for sun. And what I want to do with this is I want to show you the following, because this is going to, I think you might like this. I think you might like it. But I want to do this. Okay, so you say you've got lots of bare patches. Alrighty, I'm going to tell you how to fill them. Right, so we've spoken about thrillers, fillers, and spillers. Yeah? Thriller. No, that's Michael Jackson. Thriller, big plant, heart in the back of the garden bed. Filler, middle plant. Spiller. Okay, right in the front. This is a great combination. So we've got this, which is a beautiful coprosma. It's called Pacific Sunrise, and you can see, I mean, look, it's got these lovely pinks in it. We'll get to about 1 meter in height and about that wide. Use that at the back of the bed, okay? Use that at the back of the bed, all right? Then what I want you to do is I want you to then put this, which is called a helichrysum. Okay, now look at the gray, okay? Look at the gray, how it's going to pick up on that. Helichrysum is low, okay? It's a low middle plant. And it's got, excuse me, fairy leaves. And I just need a sip of water. I don't know. I think I'm inhaling too much pollen. Now, your helichrysum has got fairy leaves. It's a very adventurous grower. You're going to need to prune it back quite a bit because it does take up quite a bit of space. It gets a little yellow flower, but pretty insignificant. I grow it mainly for the foliage. But what if we did that, and that? What if we put those three together? Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. You've got the pink coming through in the osteo. You've got the gray just making it pop. And remember this, you can repeat. You can increase these to numbers of 5s, 7s, 9s, okay, in the front of your bed. You could then have 3 of these in the back and 3 of these on this side. Okay, you're getting the picture. Ha ha. I'm seeing some beautiful creation. The other plant that you can use, which is amazing, is this. And this is also one of those Kani Duetni. Salvia salmia. They are looking amazing. I love this plant. I love it for several reasons. Number one, sweetest juice. Sweetest. This is the flower. That is the calyx. That is actually not the flower. But this part remains, this pinky part, remains on the plant for months and months and months. The sunbirds love it. They fight in our garden to get to this. And so sweet. I'm going to eat all the flowers off. Comes in pinks, comes in a beautiful, an absolutely beautiful dark. Here's the orange. Oh man, look at me. Thank you. Here's the dark orange. And then there's also a burgundy. And it's a deep pink that it comes in. And guys, you can't kill this plant. I promise you can't kill it. It'll get to about 1 meter in height, about 60 centimeters wide. And look how hard this plant was pruned. Look here, where it was pruned before. It was pruned down to almost sticks. And that's what you got to do to get the most out of it. You can see the height of this. There's the plant now. That's where it was pruned to, even lower. And look, they're the new shoots. So that's what I'm saying. You cannot kill this plant. You really can't. Pop it in the back of your garden beds. Fill the front with osteos. Look at these colors now starting to pick up. Put a bit of gray in there and put a little sunrise with it. That's nice. Yeah. Yeah. And then we can finish it off with just a little pop of pink in the front. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Right. Next question. Can I plant carnations between my roses? Yes, yes. Let me get this plant out the way. I can't see what I meant to be doing. Absolutely, yes. Carnations, you're going to find them all over at the moment. You'll find them at your local builders. Remember, they're different types, guys. You get carnations that are the dwarf compact with the grey foliage. You get others. I've got one around here somewhere. Mummy. Oh, mummy. Nee, yes, done. No. I just want to take this plant and like wrap it up in some cotton wool. Look how cute it is. These are the little dianthus, also known as carnations. I think this is a lily pit, but isn't it too nunu? And you get doubles, you get striking yellows and reds, and some with a red edge, but they would love being in between your roses because, why? They love the full sun. And remember, guys, remember that dianthus petals are edible. No reason why you should be buying that packet of edible flowers from that shop down the road. You should be growing your own. Okay. Do I have to hard prune a Gora plant? Renata, if your Gora plant has been in your garden for like 2-3 years, en nou staan hy so groot. Hy's nou groot. Oor 1 meter. Hy gaan nou so begin om oop te maak. That's what's going to happen. It's going to start opening up. It's going to look woody. It's going to look like it's got a really bad middle parting. Okay? Or a comb over. Because it's going to be opening up like this. I want you to go in and prune that Gora hard. Have a good argument. Get really, really frustrated with somebody. Or if you've arrived back from grocery shopping or something like that. Then take your secateurs and go and give that plant a good pruning. Because the Goras will just love it. What type of pruning is that called? That is called rejuvenative pruning. And it's especially important on your perennials, which we have touched on a lot this morning. Okay. Charlotte wants to know, which plants are best in a large round pot in sun under a patio roof? Ooh. I got you. Large round pot in the sun under patio roof. Right. Come along, guys. And I'm actually not going to move them. Come along with here, Mason. Get in here because this is heaven. Guys, look at them. These are what we call, and they are rightfully called this, regal pelargoniums. Regal. They are at your local builders now in these beautiful colors. And can you believe this is one plant? This is one plant. Just insane. All you've got to do in terms of maintenance, guys, same thing, deadheading. Remember, this is finished flowering. Get in there and just nip it off. That's all you got to do. Get in there and nip it off. They will love it. Remember, pelargoniums love the hot, hot sun. Note to self, very, very important. This is called an RHT, a red hot tip. Guys, when you're watering pelargoniums, you do not water the foliage. Believe it or not, we don't aim to water foliage when we're watering anything. No, I'm serious. But especially with pelargoniums, they hate wet feet. Okay, like they regal, part of the royal family. You get what I'm saying? You get where I'm going. I'm not going to elaborate. So do not water the foliage or the flowers. Guys, rather get a watering can. Okay. Remove the nozzle, remove the spout, the rose, that's what it's called. Remove the rose, okay, and then get in there and give them a watering. So you're watering the foliage, the soil, and not the foliage. And the same applies to petunias. The exact same. And while we're talking about petunias, looky here, boys and girls. So, and this is the cheat. This is the cheat. Okay. So when you're going to buy plants and you're looking for a plant for a big round pot, you're generally going to go and you're going to look for something like something in a pot. Okay, something in a pot or something in trays. Okay, like that, so that they can then grow out. Like you're getting 6 little plants here. But for some of us impatient gardeners, this is what you do. You take a hanging basket. You buy a hanging basket with no intention of hanging it anywhere. Because all that you do is you just take off these little things here, the little hangers. And this is one of my favoritist tricks. Just take these off here gently, because the plant is grown with the hangers on it. So you don't want to damage anything. Get in here. Oh, you are proving. But this is a petunia, which is absolutely wicked. In pots, guys, it is, you then take this whole plant, as is. Take it out, squeeze, or give it a good tap. Oh, healthy roots. As is, into a pot. Oh, caramba, look at that. It's been growing. I have looked after it for about 2 months, and look how beautiful it looks. And just to show you the impact that you can get, I really do want to do this, guys, because this makes my heart very happy. You could take a terracotta pot like that, and you could pop that bad boy in there. Oh, caramba. Well, that is what you put inside your pot. Got you. Okay, right. I planted clivia seeds 2 weeks ago and no sign of growth yet. Elise, stadig oor die klippies. Stadig. Okay. Elise, very interesting, because yesterday afternoon or late evening, I was running around before the storm came with my little note, with my labels and my pencil, and picking the seeds off my clivias that are now ready, which flowered last year. And if I don't pick them off, the rain was going to knock them to the ground, and then I wouldn't know what color they were, because they get all mixed up. So I am with you on that. But when you are doing clivia seeds, and excuse me, Sybil, there is actually a really good builder's video on how to germinate your own clivia seeds. So go to the builder's YouTube channel, okay? And if you don't know how to do it, ask your grandchild or your daughter, and they'll show you how. Go to the builder's YouTube channel, and then go to how to germinate clivia seed. But here's the précis version, very quickly. You pick the seed. It's red. It's plump. It's gorgeous. Can you give me a seed? Someone's going to fetch me a seed. Okay, so in the meantime, I'm going to tell you, and this is for all of you guys, so pay attention. Don't zone out now. Stay with me. For those of you that have got agapanthus in your garden, that have got clivias, that have got amaryllis, okay, are you with me? Anything with large, flat, juicy, leafy foliage. When we have a change in season, folks, the agapanthus caterpillar die-dung is going to be coming, all right? It's going to be coming, and folks, there are various ways, okay? Throwing the clivia seed, got you. Guys, let me just show you this very, very quickly. Please protect your plants against those. Please, please, please. Because the thing is, the butterflies fly around. I can't move these plants. I'm busy. They're telling me to move the plants. How am I meant to move the plants when I'm busy talking to you on my Teams meeting? Guys, it's very important. They lay the eggs. This butterfly, actually couldn't even call it a butterfly. Moth, lays its eggs on the leaves. They hatch, and then the larva hatches, and then it eats away at your agapanthus, and you walk past them and your clivias, and all you see is just the snot. It literally is like snot in the center of the plant. They decimate your plants. So rather protect against it. You can use Koinor for that, or you can use Complete the way you use it. 1 milliliter, they provide you with a syringe in each bottle, 1 milliliter per liter of water. So in other words, that's 5 milliliters in 5 liters of water. You either put it into a sprayer or into a watering can, and you pour that around each plant, okay? And then the following day, you give those plants a good watering. What this does, it's a systemic, so it gets taken up into the plant's root system, into the cells, and when that caterpillar takes its first chomp of your beautiful, lush, delicious, voluptuous leaves, he are gone. Does it affect the flowers, is the question I'm asked. If I put this around the plant and that plant happens to then flower and a bee comes along, is it going to have an effect? The answer is no. Okay? We're settled. If you're seeing them, they are there in front of you and you don't have the courage to squash them with your fingers, then I would suggest that you use one of the two, Margaret Roberts Biological Caterpillar Insecticide or Organocide Plus. Guys, both of these are very, very good organic options. The biological caterpillar insecticide, what it does is it basically stops the caterpillar from eating, and then the caterpillar basically just dies, anorexic. It's fine. I've tried to eat this and nothing's happened. The Organocide Plus is basically canola oil, garlic, and a pyrethroid. Is that what's in there? Yes, that's right, pyrethrins. But these pyrethrins are from the chrysanthemum plant. These are the proper extracts. So this works incredibly well, and trust me, when you open that bottle, you will know that it's got garlic in it. You will know. But that can be used as a direct spray. Back to the clivias. Back to the clivias, guys. Okay, so this is what your seed comes like. Then you pop it open, all right, and then here you normally get, geez, this is a good one. Normally like sometimes 4, but here we're getting 2, 4, 6 seeds, all right. Now, what you can do at this point, you'll notice there's a little layer, like a little, do you see that? Like a little skin. Almost like when you're eating an orange or a bad nachi. So you take that little skin off. You don't have to, but if you do, what it does is it helps the germination process. So there you've been worried that your seeds are not going to germinate. If you've left the skin on, it's just going to take a bit longer. I hope you haven't buried them too deep, because clivia seeds do not like to be buried too deep. In fact, you just push the clivia seed so that you can actually still just see the top of the seed. You must just be able to see the top of it. Keep it well watered in a shady spot. Be patient. Be patient, and it will germinate. And yeah, and there's the new clivias. I mean, it's such a thrill. So yeah, I was very happy that I got ahead to my clivia seeds before the storm came last night. Right. Sybil, can you tell me more about Incas? I planted one little shorter one, and now so much stalks. Okay, hang on a second. I'm coming to get them, because we have just got pulled some out the garden for you, Sybil, so we can give you the right information. Now, Sybil, there are different types of Inca lilies, okay? There's one called Interchana, which is a shorter, lower growing variety, and you'll find those at your local builders now. They only get about that tall, from there to there, nicely mounded, more for impact than for picking, all right? Then you get the taller varieties, which are these. These are part of what we call the summer series. You get them in this beautiful red. There's a yellow, there's a white, and there's a pink that is like blossom pink. And there's an orange called Indian Summer. So these are the taller ones. Now, what I suspect that you've been doing is this. I suspect that when you have been picking them for the vase, you've been going up to the plant and doing that, okay? And picking them for the vase, stripping these off, and there I've got my beautiful Inca lily. But what's left behind is this. Right, this is where things go pear. Now, do you notice how this was removed from the plant? Because an Inca lily is a bulb. Down in that soil are bulbs. About the size of a small onion. Yeah, and it's oval in shape. But what you want to do is when you take your Inca lily out, you grab it and you yank it, and it snaps off. You can see exactly where it snapped off from the bulb. And that is crucial, because where it snapped off from that bulb, a new growth point is going to come, which means that we're removing the flowers that we want to use in the house, or once they have gone over, we remove, which means we're making new space for new plants, new foliage. Also, remember to give them a good feeding. And guys, this goes for everything. Feed it, feed it. What can you feed it? Guys, there's loads of things out there. There are rows and rows and rows of product that you can use. But I'm going to say this to you. If you're looking for an organic option, Atlantic fruit and flower, or we've got some BioOcean. BioOcean has been, it's chicken litter, which has been decomposted, and then kelp has been added to it, which makes it like super powerful, because kelp is like a superhero all on its own. When you combine it with a well-composted chicken litter, you've just got something that works. It lasts for a long time in your garden. You only have to apply it every 6 to 8 weeks, handfuls at a time. Guys, it will never burn anything because it is an organic product. So, yeah, use it freely. And then the next thing I want to say to you is that if you have not started feeding your hydrangeas yet, well, you better leave the computer now and run. Run. Get out into the garden, guys, and start feeding with your hydrangea food. This is what comes, what we call a doi pack. It's got a little seal over here so you can keep it and use it and use it and use it. It's really simple. It's 5 grams. It's one of these little cups that you get in here, like a little dispenser, into 5 liters of water. Pour that around the plant. And I would do that, guys, every single time that you're watering, which at the moment is going to be a good watering twice a week. The hydrangea food is going to spunk up your hydrangea, give it some good growth, and ensure that you have good flowers. Okay, very, very importantly. And then this Nutri-Feed. So, besides putting your organic fertilizer around the plants and making sure they're looking gorgeous, you can take this, which you can put into a spray bottle. And when we're doing spray bottles, guys, please, we're doing something that at least has got some life in it, and that's going to save you a whole lot of drama. And we're not using one of those little those little things. All right. I dig this guy, and I'll tell you why. I can see what's inside. Oh, at last, someone has designed something that I can actually see how far or what's left. I don't have to shake it and imagine how much is left inside the my spray bottle. And it's got a little lance. So most of them end here, but it's got a little lance, which means that if I want to get into there, I can get into there. All right, so you want one of these guys, which is a pressurized. I've got nothing in there. Oh, but there's a little bit of something coming out. So you can take your Nutri-Feed, it's 5 grams, into 5 liters of water, mix it up, give it a good shake, and you can then feed the foliage, which is called a foliar feed. Okay, and you can do that just to help things along. Right, and Nolu, I have a small spot in my yard I've designated for gardening veggies specifically. Lovely. What soil can I use? And I'm very new in this. Well, welcome to the world of gardening, Nolu. And when you pick your first produce that you have grown with your own hands, that smile is going to just be amazing. So, well done. You've taken a big step. Number one, if you're planting in pots, you're going to use just a potting soil mixed with a bit of compost. If you're planting in the ground, okay, you're in Cape Town, I'm going to assume that you've either got very clay soil or very sandy soil. So I'm going to go with the more probable of sandy soil. I'm going to say that you need to add in a bag of compost per 2 square meters. You're going to put a thick layer of compost. You're also going to add in some of that Atlantic stuff that I told you about. And you're going to dig that all in. Prepare your soil down to a fork's depth. Very important, okay? Once you have done that preparation, go wild. You can start by buying little punnets. So of your cabbage, of your lettuce, brinjals, you can buy those. Or you can then try some seeds. Now, there are some seeds that are really easy to grow and germinate, and those would be the following. Let me just find a few here. Okay, I can't find them, and I know we're running out of time. So I'm going to tell you, go with your carrots. Nice and simple, guys. Really, really. Give it a bash, and mustard. And you must plant spinach. Okay, you must plant spinach. These 3 are very, very easy. They really are easy. And if you've prepped your soil, like I've explained to you, water regularly, okay? But you're still having a bit of rain, so you're okay. But as soon as the heat starts coming, make sure you water them, okay? And good luck, and send us some pictures. We'd love to see what you're doing. Vera, I love growing dill, but the little black insects attack the plant. What do I need to do? Vera, you've got 2 options here. Number 1, take one of these bad boys. Make sure that you have got the spout on like direct, full of water, and you have pumped up the pressure to 79 bars, and then you spray them off. They're called aphids. They're little sucking insects, and they do love dill. You can just take your garden hose, like one of these guys here. Take your garden hose, and you see we've got all these different settings. Okay, so find a setting that works for you. And this little guy is actually quite amazing. So it's all different. Full, it gives you a fan, it gives you mist, and you can literally blast them to Mars. So you actually don't need to spray with anything. You can, of course, always just squash them in between your fingers, or you could use Margaret Roberts' biological insecticide. Right, guys, it's been a busy hour. I actually don't even know where it's gone. Remember, please, to get your favorite gardening magazine at your local builders. The stand is just there as you walk into the gardening section. Everything that I have shared with you today is in these pages. My brain downloaded here, plus all the amazing contributors and writers that put together these world-class magazines for you. Just for you. This is the cover of our beautiful October issue. And look, Sybil, it's got Inca lilies on it. So you want to get it to find out more. And plus our Open Gardens magazine, guys. So pack your samis, plan your weekend visits away, because there are more than 200 gardens open around the whole of South Africa. Go and visit them and be inspired. Our bra magazine is also out. What has it got on the cover? A hot sausage that's been seriously pimped. So it's time for bras, because the Bokke are playing on Sunday. Guys, remember to visit the blog. Oh, they're playing on Saturday. I thought it was Sunday, but I'm working. Oh, they're playing 9 o'clock. Oh, that's fine then. Oh, I nearly had a moment. Oh, okay, never mind. The Bokke are playing on Saturday at 9 o'clock. I am going to be at Builders, South Coast, between 10 and 12 on the same Saturday. And guys, this is the one. Monday, there's a new store opening. It's today. Oh. There's a new store that opened today. Some of you might be shopping there already. It's at Silver Lakes in Pretoria. I actually drove past it the other day. And we got a phone call yesterday and we've sacrificed and we've made some changes. But anyway, the bottom line is we are going to be there on Monday, the public holiday, which is the 21st. Is that right? No, it's the 25th. I don't even know what day we are. What day am I there on Monday? 25th. What day is that? 25th. Oh, you see, I'm very confused. I've been gardening too much, guys. What's the date? The 25th, Monday, the public holiday. Isn't that Heritage Day? Oh, look, I got that right. It's not. Boerewors. Never mind. I'm losing it. Guys, on Monday, please keep an eye out on my Facebook pages. Keep an eye on the Builders Facebook page because I'm doing a talk at the new store, which is at Silver Lakes, 10 o'clock on Monday, whatever date that might be in your calendar or in my calendar. I will see you there. From me and the gang and the crew that is now on the floor in stitches because I don't know what the date is. Anyway, God bless you all and most importantly, happy gardening.